Good day and welcome to our preview of Fairview. Today is the 28th of August. Please note that the racing has moved from the turf to the poly, and that's why I am a little bit late with my previews. I do apologize, but I was halfway down the card when I got notified that the service has changed from turf to poly, so I had to restart everything again from scratch. So let's look at the betting on race one. Number 7, Give Me a Rainbow, 13 to 10, 7 to 2, Lookout House, 17 to 2, Easy Clock, Forbidden Affair, 14, Russia Magic, 14, number 17 is scratched, Power Shot, 20 to 1 and 20 to 1 and longer. Um, Please note number 12 and 17 is scratched due to service changed. So let's have a look at the field. I want to go down to number 7. Initially, when I did my preview, I was looking at number 8, Lookout House. But now, since this service has changed, because on the straight, 15 didn't matter. But now on the poly around the bend, the 15 draw will definitely be a problem. So I'm now going for number 7, Give Me a Rainbow, and to win this race. Other horses that you can look at, obviously number 8, Lookout House, is a horse that you need to look at. And here we have number 9, Russian Magic. Russian Magic run well last time out. Has run around on a poly, didn't do too bad. So I think Russian Magic can be there when the photos are taken. Another horse that you should take a note of is number 3, Easy Cloth. Last time out, did ran a close second to all the stars on the poly and can definitely improve to win this race. I actually did give it as one of my outsider selection, nearly won the race and giving me the price of selecting another 50 to 1 outsider. So that is race 1. Let's move to race 2. Guys, I'm going to run quickly through this preview today, so bear with me. I'm trying to make up some time. It is a maiden plate over 1,200 meters, fillies and mares. Let's quickly have a look at the betting. The betting is as follows. Number 1, look like magic, 15 to 10. Bloom is a first timer. I didn't include the first timer in my selections, but if they do give this horse on course, or when you watch the tally, do include in your bets. Number 8, Sweet Spring, 8 to 1. Cara, 8 to 1. 40s on Friday, 14 to 1. Great Thunder, 14 to 1, 20 to 1, and longer the rest. The reason why I'm using Betting World today is because World Sports Betting hasn't priced up on the polytrack betting yet, so that's why you're receiving this. Look like Magic come from Cape Town, where it is running a decent races against some decent horses, but still a maiden after 8 runs, but has run 2 seconds and 2 thirds, and I think might just be a little bit too strong for this field. For his quarry, for his on Friday, um, I think maybe this horse might have already won a race, but unfortunately, last 2 races Dylan wasn't up to scratch. But given another chance, but drawn 10 now on the outside, that might be a problem. Other horses that I would like to look at here in race number 2 is number 6, which is Sweet Spring. Sweet Spring, Montana Turner stable, but now drawn 12. Yeah, I looked at it. Has run a few times on the poly and can definitely be involved in the finish, but will have to come from a wide draw. Here we have number 7, Great Thunder. Now, this little Carl Strader, I think her name is Carl, if I'm not mistaken, getting -4s, now jumping from draw 3. And now, really, I think Great Thunder in with a huge chance in this race and definitely not to be left out. He also having a few rides at Stradum, Carl Stradum for his father and for his grandfather. And I really hope he pick up a win today. That would be nice for him to win for his family, and then he can follow the footsteps of the young Ferraris who did win for his grandpa. His first 2 races he won on the same day for his grandfather. So that is race 2. Let's move on to race number 3. Race number 3 is a maiden plate, 1,600 meters, fillies and mares. Let's have a look at the betting. And here the betting is as follows. Uh, 6 to 10, Colorado Springs, upper 10 for 9 to 2, 17 to 2, Lila's Rose, race 3, number 6. Number 6 has been scratched, so you can take that one out. 14 to 1 and longer the race. So let's have a look at the card. Guys, here we have number 1, Princess Angeline. I'm always wary of horses coming from Cape Town having their first run. This horse is a long price, and I'm glad to see Marco van Rensburg back in riding. I really wish him the best. He looks like he's now over his injury. And definitely number 1, Princess Angeline, not a horse to be left out. Other horses we want to look at, Quintus Angel has also been running well, has run well on the poly last time out, can also be involved in the finish, was far beyond run for his run, definitely not a bad run and can surprise. Number 4, let me just go down here to Number 9, Colorado Springs. Colorado Springs is the favorite. Has had one run on the poly, finished second behind Lady Quinn, Greg Chain riding, but now, unfortunately, the number 10 draw can be, as a wide draw, can be a problem. Another horse I want to look at quickly. Number 7, Upper 10. Upper 10 definitely now in with a chance. Did run well on the pony last time out. Lady Quinn, there is some same form in this race, so can also be involved in the finish when the photos are taken. So that is race 3. Let's move on to race number 4. Race number 4, we have it's a 1600 meters, fillies and mares, handicap, class E, average minute rating 65. Let's have a look at the betting in race number 4. Nippy Sweetie 7 to 10, Mary Moon 5 to 2, Viva Pia 10 to 1, Fleet Flyer 12 to 1, 12 to 1, Magic Mary is a scratching and 20 to 1 and longer the rest. So let's have a look at this race. Yeah, because it was on turf, I was looking to get something to beat Nippy Sweetie. But now back on Polly, has won twice over Polly. Greg Shane riding from draw 6. I think now number 1, Sweetie, Nippy Sweetie will be hard to beat. Some horses you want to have a look at is number 5, and that is Matima. Has run well on the poly, has won a race on the poly, has been dealing thereabouts. But if you have a look, this average merit rating of this race is 65. Matima has run against much stronger there behind Madam Speaker, Fool's Garden, Magic Mary, 78, 79, 74. Now down in class, and with Van Rensburg on board Marco. Only the thing is the draw is 13 to 1, but definitely outsider selection currently at 25 to 1 that you want to include in your pick 6. Definitely number 6, Viva Pia Pa, because it was on the turf. That was I was looking for this horse to beat the favorite because he was getting the -4. But this horse hasn't run well on the poly before, but has 2 runs, but like they behind Nippy Sweetie. But I think with the -4 will be closer to Nippy Sweetie, so definitely a horse that you need to include in all your selections can come up. So then we move to race number 5. Race number 5 is a class D 73, merit rated 78, handicap, average merit rating 73, class D, over 1600 meters. Let's have a look at the betting. Here we have the betting: New Grande 53 to 10, Ben Carlo 4 to 1, Fairview 5 to 1, Bold Strike 6 to 1, Paris Queen 6 to 1, Lord Marshall 11 to 1, 12 to 1, and longer the rest. Now, very interesting, and this is when I was busy with race number 5, and I looked at this horse, Lord Marshall, and I was looking at a form, and I said to myself, it's a pity this horse is not running on the poly today. Then I think Stradom will have a good chance winning with this horse. And that's when I decided that I better check the the surface. And when I did, I saw they are now running on poly. So therefore, in race 5, my strong recommendation is number 5, Lord Marshall. This horse will run well on the poly. You can practice a nice each way on it. It's currently 12 to 1. So definitely a each way bet that you would like to have a few rand on. New Grande can also be involved in a finish, has run in the poly before and has won nice races. And I think that is the horse that can go the closest with number 5, Lord Marshall. Other horses that you can follow in this race outside of selections is number 8, and that is Fairview. Fairview. It's a global view. They're running well. It's getting the -4. Has run well behind global drummer, and I'm sure it won't be there won't be a problem on the surface. Has run and one on the surface by 3 lengths, and I think 8 Fairview, a very serious runner in this race with the -4. Definitely a horse you want to include in all your play. Then number 12, Human Me. This King, it's a lady jockey, Justine King, drawn 12, unfortunately. But this horse has shown glimpses and of running where and there and thereabouts, but a nice outsider to include in your back end of your trifectas and quartets. Here we are at race number 6. Wash your hands, F, finish a mere 85, Class C, and an average merit rating of 79. So let's have a look at the betting. The betting is as follows on race 6. Bell Tower 17 to 10, Wallace Simpson 5 to 2, Pretty Ballerina 5 to 1, Blushing Bride 6 to 1, and just note here in this race, number 2 and 10 is a scratching. Oh yeah, there they've got it now. So let's have a look at this race. Now here, in this race, I definitely like the look of number 5, Wallace Simpson. Wallace Simpson is a Duke of Marmalade mare by King of Kings. I don't know if you remember King's Temple. That was the horse that came to Joburg from Kimberley and won a great one. Yeah, what a day that was, for Corey Linsley. And then they took away the horse from him, and in the horse, I think, has won one race after that. Yeah, just a quick story. So, yeah, I think in this race, we're looking here at race 6 at the average merit rating of 79. This horse has run against some stronger in Cape Town, and I do believe that this Alan Greef will have this horse ready. Greg Shane, and I think this is the horse to beat in this race. Let's look at some other selections that I do fancy. Number 1, Pretty Ballerina, also won a nice race last time out. On the poly, beating Epping Storm, has also run against some stronger competition, and I do believe Pretty Ballerina can be there when the photos are taken. Also want to go down to number 8, which is Purest Bliss. Purest Bliss is one of those horses. He always runs his heart out, always there and thereabouts. Definitely a horse to include, and do also like has had a few runs on the poly, not too bad runs. Definitely a horse to include into your calculations. Then there is still Bell Tower that you might look at. Has also been running well, but hasn't run a lot on the poly. But it's getting the -4, and that can be definitely to his advantage, as you can see. Bell Tower. Oh my goodness, we don't need this. See Bell Tower. Ach my, guys, I really apologize. This is what happened when you're in a hurry. Um, yeah, has had some runs on the poly there behind Miss Jacksonville, but is getting the -4. Definitely inclusion to all your bets. We now move on to race number 7. Race number 7 is the Friendly City Stakes, non-black type, over 1800 meters, Class A, average merit rating 93. Let's have a look at the betting. Rocker Low 15 to 10, 3 to 1, American Landing, Earth Hour 4 to 1, Mangrove 6 to 1, 14 to 1, and longer the rest. So here we have race 7, and I think we're going to stick here with, when I saw it was back on turf, I thought American Landing the horse to beat, but now we are back with number 3, Rockalo, Allo, who has won on the poly before. This horse is exceptional, only had 8 races, already 4 wins, and I think will still improve. I think we're hard to beat in this race. The American Landing, I'm not so sure, didn't run well on the poly last time out. We'll have to see again, but because he has only had 1 run on the poly, and that was not too great, but he was slow away and is now also drawn wide, so maybe not today. Earth Hour, a horse that can improve, has run some good runs. Last time out behind the Highwayman in the future. I think they was only had 2 runs on the poly. They ran came with a strong finish behind Madam Speaker. Wow, look at that. 13 lengths behind, 21 seconds last 400. That is very good. Include number 2, Earth Hour, in your calculations with number 3, Rocker Low. Then we want to move down to race number 8. Guys, I'm sorry, I'm running through this quickly today. It's already past 10, and they're starting early racing. We got Class E, average maiden race 60. It's a minute rated 68 handicap over 2,000 meters. So let's have a look at the betting here. The betting is as follows: lead man 3-1, Quest 43-10, at the office 4-1, Interstate 7-1, Tom and Jerry 8-1, Giacomo 8-1, 14-1, and longer the rest. So let's have a look here. My recommendation is number 1, Tom and Jerry. Tom and Jerry, marker for instance, but my only concern is the draw 12. That might be a bit of a problem. But this horse has run some good races on the poly. If you have a look here, second behind Epic Storm, there is some horses that form on this card. Sorry, this was not my year. Strong and Brave, Samar. So this horse has run well on the poly, and Marco has won on it before. So I definitely believe number 1, Tom and Jerry, in here with a very good chance. Then we also want to have a look at number 3 at the office, another Smith inmate, Beideveld riding. He's ridden the horse before, now has had one run on the poly behind Ice Baron, but I think it did need a run. It was a second run after the race, and I think we'll strip fitter today. Then number 6, Giacomo. Giacomo doesn't show a lot of good form, but has performed on a poly before. Greg Shane riding, and that's always a factor. So do include in all your bets. This horse can surprise. Other horses, there's a favorite. There's Lead Man. Lead Man did win, but on the turf last time, and his form, what I can see here, well, I can see only one run on the poly, which wasn't that inspiring. So definitely not a certainty in this race. So then let's move on to the next race, which is race number 9, which is the last race. Sorry, I just want to get there. Please note that number 1, Varsity Bourbon, and number 14 is Scratchings due of the surface change. So let's have a look at the betting. Here we have the betting for race number 9. The betting as follows: Brazil Night 19-10. There hasn't got Varsity Bourbon as a scratching it. Wicked Grin 7-7.5. 8.5 Toro Lake, Black Gardena 8.5. 10-1 Toro del Oro, but that is a scratching as well with number 14. So it's 1, 10, and 14 scratched in this race. Let's have a look at the betting. I'll have the race. Here we have number 2, Brazil Nut. Brazil Nut won its maiden over the poly. Shouldn't have a problem. And I think this is the horse to beat in this race. Will be a hard nut to crack, this Brazil Nut. Then also other horses that we want to have a look at is number 6, Thomas Shelby. I did recommend that the horse last time out on the poly, run unwell over the 1,000 meters. Now 1,200 meters, I think, will suit this horse better. Then number 7, Toro Lake, has also had some decent runs on the poly before, and I definitely think last time out did win on the turf, but also has one on the poly. So Toro Lake, the informed Duncan McKenzie, Beideveld riding, definitely not a horse that you want to leave out of your calculations. And another horse that I want to talk about is Black Gardenia. Black Gardenia also in with a chance. He's definitely a horse that's got ability, has one on the poly, and definitely with Greg Shane, Alan Creeve, they are always a factor. Then we have number 13, which is not Wildcat, November Storm. Yeah, Mr. Young Stradom is riding for his granddad again, and I think this horse has shown glimpses of running well on the poly, has run some places, and is now, I think, is due for a win with the 52 minus a 4, but plus a half. I would think this horse might have a huge chance in this race to upset the apple cart. So that brings us to the end of our preview. As again, I apologize for the lateness, and as I always say, break a leg.